Hello and welcome to People in Perspective. My name is Patrick Galloway and today my guest here is Margaret Oberholtzer. She is a former hospital corpsman for the U.S. Coast Guard. So, what was your inspiration for joining the Coast Guard?
My brother. I had 5 brothers. 2 went in the Air Force, 2 went in the Marines, and 1 in the Coast Guard. So I had to even it up and go in the Coast Guard.
What was your time like during your time in the Coast Guard?
My time was wonderful. I spent 8 years in the Coast Guard being a hospital corpsman, and it was wonderful. The travel, I traveled a lot, met a lot of people, and it was wonderful.
So, what did you do?
I wouldn't do it again, though.
What did you do? What was your job?
I was a hospital corpsman. I had to go to training for doing stitches and taking blood, wrapping wounds, being a medic, CPR, and thank God I never had to do CPR. But yeah, I was a medic. And shortly after I was medic, they trained me to be a dental technician. So I was a dental assistant, which was great opportunities for me on the outside. And yeah, I had a wonderful time doing that job.
Where were you stationed exactly?
First, I went to Cape May, New Jersey for boot camp. And then I went to Long Beach, California for a couple of years. And then after that, I went to school to train for my job in New London, Connecticut, where they make the submarines for the Navy. But anyways, and then after that I went to Boston, Massachusetts for a couple of years. And then after that, they wanted me to re-up to sign again. And I did by getting a lot of money, bonus, and they stationed me in Hawaii for 4 years.
So what was adjusting to the lifestyle of being in the Coast Guard?
It was easy, adjusting, getting in there, because I'm a listener. I listen well, I train well. It's not for everybody, So I trained myself before I even went in. I jogged and ran a lot and tried to get in shape before I went in. And you have to swim. You have to swim before you even graduate boot camp. A lot of people didn't even know how to swim. I don't know why they joined the Coast Guard, but they didn't know how to swim. But I passed. I was one of maybe 2 girls in a group of 50 men. They didn't have women in the Coast Guard for too long when I joined. They only brought them into the Coast Guard for a couple of years. So I was one of very few women.
How old were you when you joined?
I joined when I was 21. I joined late. A lot of people join when they're 18. I wanted to join the Air Force, but I had braces and I had a couple of little problems and they wouldn't take me. So I waited a few years till I was 21.
Any jobs that you went on? Any places you went to help out?
Oh yeah, the Coast Guard does drug busts mostly. That's their thing. They're the cops of the ocean, of the water. And they did a lot of drug busts. They, one time they did big drug busts in Boston. And being a corpsman, I'm a corpsman, and they gave me a rifle, M14 maybe, and I had to guard while they put all the marijuana bales into a semi-trucks. And that was one that I'll always remember, them giving me a rifle. I don't know.
Any friendships that you gained during that time?
Oh my God, I'm going to see a girlfriend I knew in Hawaii 30 years ago. I'm going to see her next week in California. She was a cook. She was one of my good friends. And yes, a couple of good friends. A couple of them passed, you know, rest in peace. But yeah, I've kept in touch. On Facebook, you keep in touch. So yeah, I keep in touch with a couple of them. And then I have if I go places, I can visit with them and stay with them. So it's nice.
What's your life after leaving the Coast Guard?
It was hard to get back into civilian life. You know, I was so used to the camaraderie of all my friends and jobs and people I've known and the friendships, and it was hard to get back out into civilian life. Now they have transitions where they see psychiatrists because it is hard. And I got out and it was tough. I met the man that I was going to marry with long hair a year later. It was very short after I got out, and I married him, and I got 3 kids, you know. But life is beautiful.
Did you have any jobs after the Coast Guard?
No, I got married right away and had twins, and then shortly after that had another one, and I wanted to go to school for dental hygiene. After being a dental assistant, I could have been a dentist, you know, I knew so much. I worked in a dentist's office on Michigan Avenue after I got out. That was nice. I worked for him for a couple of years, being his dental assistant. Had very major celebrities like John Mahoney. You guys don't know him, but, and Jay Pritzker, the governor's uncle. He was our client, but very ritzy guy. And I assisted with him for a couple years, and then I got pregnant where I couldn't fit in between the chair and the patient anymore, so I couldn't work anymore. And everything, I can't say it went down the drain because I have 3 beautiful kids, but yeah, I just didn't pursue my dental assisting at all, so.
Well, that's all the time we have left. Thank you
yeah?
for joining us.
Okay.
This
Why,
is
thank you, Patrick.
This is People in Perspective, and see you next time.